You may not like what I'm about to share with you in this video. In the past 3 years, I've been able to connect with almost 40,000 people across the 5 different platforms that I'm on. And I've been able to make in a month's time, when I transitioned in my corporate career, what I made on an annual basis. If you do not adopt at least one of these 3 strategies that I'm about to share with you today, you are likely wasting your potential in this ever-changing workforce landscape. In this video, I'm going to share with you 3 strategies I use to make this transition. This isn't strategies for you to go into entrepreneurship or to run a business. This is for you to pivot in your career or make a transition in your career, or if you do want to go into entrepreneurship or business. I believe these 3 strategies can help you do just that. Now, about a year ago today, and this is the month of June, depending upon when you're watching this video, I was coming back from a quote unquote sabbatical. I didn't call it a sabbatical. I just took some time off for 3 months. And I took that time off because I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't know if I wanted to continue on with this online business journey that I was on since transitioning from corporate. I didn't know if I wanted to go back into corporate. I was like at a crossroads and I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I was frustrated. I was overwhelmed because I had created, I have a Facebook group with 1,500 members. I had thousands on different platforms. I had a regular cadence of a Tuesday night show that we were doing. I had a coaching program where I had professionals that were getting amazing results, but I really didn't know if I wanted to continue. It was different than what I was accustomed to. It was hard. There was no structure, and it was just different. I'm accustomed to structure. I didn't even know being in corporate that I would call it structure, because HR has never been structured. It's always chaotic. There's always something happening. It's always a lot going on. So I would have never defined the business unit or department that I was in as structured. But now on the outside looking in, corporate and work in general has structure to it. You have to be there at a certain time. You leave around a certain time. You go to lunch around a certain time. You do a routine task every day. It may change a little bit here and there, but there is structure there. When you're doing something different or outside of what you're accustomed to, it feels hard. It feels daunting. It feels impossible. And it could be overwhelming, and you want to quit. That's where I was. That's why I took that time off, because I didn't know what I wanted to do. And quite honestly, I kind of wanted to quit. I wanted to just go back to work. But every day, every week, going to church, talking to myself, to be honest, and missing doing what I transitioned to do, I felt like it was a calling, to be honest with you. And the only reason why I'm saying that, not to be religious or anything like that, is because it was inside of me. It was something inside of me that every single day, I thought about it. I miss my community every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. I miss sending emails and getting feedback. I miss hearing the stories. I had a whole coaching program, a whole business where I was helping professionals get results. I miss having those conversations. And I was talking to people that wanted to learn more about the business and what we did and how we could help, and learning from them and learning what they did and some of their challenges. I missed all of the nuances and all of that. But because I was stuck and I was stagnant and I was overwhelmed and I was frustrated and I didn't have a plan for what I was doing, I was just doing it. I kind of threw myself into this because that's what I saw and that's what I thought that I wanted. I knew that I wanted a business. I've always had that in me to have a business, but I never knew what kind of business. And I've tried a lot of different things. I'm still trying things. But I know at its core now what it is that I should be doing. But during that time frame, I had to take a minute to figure it out, to see if I really wanted to do this, if I wanted to make that transition and make that pivot. And then, was I going to commit to it? Because that was the real problem, committing to it. If I'm being honest with myself, having the discipline to commit to it. And so I decided last year, this time in May, all right, I'm coming back. All the signs were pointing towards it. Again, God was speaking to me and everything was aligning like I should go back. So I sent an email. I didn't know if the folks that were on my email list would still be there. I didn't know. But it wasn't for them. It was for me. I had to see. I had to take the risk again. I had to go. I had to see. And lo and behold, I got emails back when I sent that email out. And I got a handful of emails from people saying, we missed you. Where you been? Oh my gosh, I was looking for you. I didn't see you on Tuesday. I've been looking for you, all the things. And that felt good. That'll feel good to anybody. That felt good. So I'm like, okay, great. Got back in the swing of things. June, July, August kept going. Felt good. What I didn't realize was that me stepping away affected me, but it also affected the people that I had built with. Because what I later found out at the top of this year, when I rebranded, I was going through my emails because I was changing my domain and getting another email and doing all of that. And I went to my spam folder and I saw hundreds of emails from back in May from people sharing their stories, saying, oh my gosh, where have you been? We were like a family. You were like my big sister. Every time I listened to you, I took notes. I couldn't find you. I was trying to email you. I didn't have a number. What is the website? I don't want to lose you again. It was hundreds. And of course, if you know me, I was sitting there weeping. I read every last one of them. I read every one. Why am I sharing this? One, because transitioning is hard. It's hard. But what I've learned is that you have to pick a hard. Life is hard. You're going to either decide that I'm going to go this hard or I'm going to do this hard. You just got to pick one because it's hard. Regardless of what you do, it's hard. The second thing is, you're here. I'm here for other people. I've just learned that. This is what I believe. I believe in impact. Now I had to get to this place. I'm not going to pretend like, jumping out online that I wanted to make an impact and I wanted to be this. But now I know because of what I've gone through. But had I not gone through it, I wouldn't have known that all these people were wondering where I was and how impactful our community was. Now, I sent a letter today, just as a side note, not a letter, but I did a post today in the Facebook group that I'm going to be closing that group only because now that I know exactly what I want and how I can best serve, I want to focus on that and I want to get hyper intentional on that. And I want to be hyper focused on those that truly want to be in community together, where we support each other and help each other. And I do have another community for individual contributors, managers, senior managers and above, those professionals that are seeking a career transition and not quite sure or feeling stuck like I was feeling stuck, not quite sure of what the next phase of their life looks like. I'll put that link below if you want to join us. It's absolutely free until we get to 50, and then we're going to charge for it. But I still want to have that community. And what that taught me, just that three-month break, it taught me a lot of different things, but is what I want to share with you today. So in terms of those 3 strategies that I spoke of earlier, the first of which is changing my mindset around things. If you remember earlier, I talked about the structure in corporate. I didn't recognize the structure that just work in general. It's not even corporate. You can work anywhere, in any environment. But what I recognized was that there wasn't structure. It was something I had to put into place. And that was part of the hard that I talked about. Whenever you're transitioning into something, there's going to be a mindset shift. If you're going to commit to it, if you're going to have the discipline to commit, if it's something you're really going to go after, you have to decide to commit to the thing. If you're going to transition for something better to something better, going from something to something takes a commitment. This is something I had to learn. And I'm sharing this with you. If you're in a position like I was during that 3-month break where I was stagnant and I was frustrated and I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't know what my next move was. I had to take the break to figure it out. We're in a world now where everything is moving so fast. And I shared in the earlier part of this video that if you do not decide or adopt one of the strategies that I'm sharing, and I'm talking about that now, that you're likely going to miss out. And the potential that you have, you will never realize if you don't take the time to think about it, strategize, and then execute or implement. It's the most important part of transitioning or pivoting. It's the implementation, actually doing it. So the first strategy, if I were to say the first one, is changing your mindset around making a transition. It's going to be different, and it's going to be hard, and it's going to be uncomfortable. But I tell you, it's the best thing. It is the best thing when you realize and you recognize this is what I should be doing. Do you know how good that feels to know what you should be doing? You are in it. You are set. You are steadfast. You standing on it. You 10 toes down on it. There is no better feeling than knowing that you're doing what you were called to this earth to do. There's no better feeling. There's none. For some, it's entrepreneurship. For some, it's finding that right job, that right employer, so that you can be fulfilled, that you can make the impact, that you can contribute at a high level, that you can be respected and valued like you know you deserve. But if you don't take the time to see what it is that you really want, and then change the mindset to unlearn some things, because we're in a different environment now. Socially, economically, it's a different environment. The workforce has changed. It is not your same environment from when you first started work. So that first strategy is opening yourself up to new opportunities. It's going to take you changing your mindset about how to do it, how to go about, what moves to make, to strategize, not just do the tactical things, the things that you already know to do, because up until this point, you've done what you know to do. Your highest level of thinking has gotten you this far. And if you don't like where you are, and it's only for those that don't like where they are, because you may be content where you are. Your highest level of thinking has gotten you where you are right now. And if you're not continually educating yourself and unlearning some things that you've learned, I guarantee you will miss out on opportunities that you had no idea were available to you. That's what I found in making my transition. I had no idea what was available to me, leveraging and using the skills I already have. That's the second strategy. Use what you got. Use what you have. Starting over is different than starting from scratch. Leveraging your core skills, that's an asset. You have experiences that no one else has. And because you're further along in life and in your work experience, you can speak to so many different situations, scenarios that happen, mergers, leadership changes, acquisitions, reorganizational restructuring. You can speak to that because you've already weathered those storms. How you talk about it, how you communicate it, that's where you might need guidance for that. And that's okay. I was sharing with them on Thursday during our coaching clinic that you get a mechanic, right? Because he's a specialist in what he does to fix your car. You get someone to do your hair because they are certified. They're a specialist in what they do. You go to the barber because they're certified. They know what they're doing. They've been doing it a long time. But you don't get anyone to help you with your career or with your resume or with your finances or if you're having problems with your marriage. We try to figure stuff out. We're figure outers. We try to figure stuff out when we don't have to. We're not making the best use of our time. Most of us are just busy, not productive. We need to have a shorter learning curve. I've had a coach every year. And before I've had coaches, before being online and coaches were a thing, these books were my coaches. I like the fact that I can shorten my learning curve, that I can learn what I need in a shorter amount of time. People and experts have put all of their knowledge, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, 20 years in a book. Some of them are online now teaching courses, teaching classes. Everybody's not scamming. There's some experts online. You've learned from them. I've learned from them. Get with them. Shorten your learning curve. Get with the expert. Instead of trying to do, I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to figure this out. If it's been working for you, keep it. Cool. But if it hasn't, I remember I had an acquaintance, a friend, and she told me, every year, when we first had met, she said, every year I go to the mayor's ball. She said, it's $500 a ticket. She said, but it's some great suitors there. She was looking for a mate at the time. And she said, it's some great, and she was just telling me the story. She was just telling me, she said, I go every year. And she said, there's some great gentlemen there. And I go every year. And I said, well, how long have you been going? She said, for the past 5 years. And I said, well, how's it working out for you? And she paused and picked up her drink. If it's not working for you, why continue to do it? If you've been going to the job boards, if you've been online, if you've been fixing your resume, if it's not working for you, just saying, if it's not working for you, then you might want to do something else, which brings me to my third strategy. And that is to get mentorship, to get coaching. You don't have to figure it out on your own. There's so much help. There's so much knowledge, so much information online. Often all we need is not the information, but just the strategy, just the guidance, just the direction. When you get in your car, you have the address. You have all the information. You just need it to guide you on how to get there. Don't waste time. Don't waste potential. You have it. You don't have to feel stuck. You don't have to. If you want to, that's one thing, but you do not have to. You're feeling stuck. You're feeling stagnant. You're feeling undervalued. You're feeling like your voice isn't heard. You're feeling like you're settling. And you may know that you're settling, but I'm going to tell you about those feelings. Those feelings will have you take action that doesn't serve you. It will have you taking no action that does not serve you. Just because you do not know does not mean you should not do. And that do is to go out and seek help, to implement on something, to execute on something, or to change that mindset on something. It's not for you to get tactical and keep doing the same thing you've been doing. It means for you to execute on your plan, your strategy. No longer after today should you have those same feelings. There is no reason for you to have those feelings. There's too much information. If you really want it, it's going to be hard. I'm telling you, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. I'm just telling you that. But pick a hard. Which one do you want? Which one do you want? Our minds tell us that we have to start from scratch. If we make a move, if we make a transition, it's not true. You just haven't opened up yourself to see what's available to you. And I'll tell you this, if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling stuck, if you're not sure of which direction to go in, there's only one reason why that is. Write this down. It's one word, and it's clarity. When you're clear, like I was during that 3-month period, I wrote the plan. I'm going to send out an email. I'm going to start back in June. I'm going to be consistent every Tuesday. I'm going to talk about how to do this. Here's the topics. Here's the things. I had all the emails from the people saying what their challenges were, how they've moved, how things have changed. I knew what to talk about. I'm still talking about it. And that's because I wrote the strategy. I took the time. See, what happens is a lot of professionals, maybe not you, a lot of people, they just start doing. Get the resume, apply, get online, talk about how employers do this and my boss do this and it's toxic here and race and age discrimination and nobody's going to hire me and I'm getting ghosted. And guess what all those things are? External. We can't do nothing about it. Nothing. Anything outside of you, you can't do anything about. You can't change the weather, you can't change the job, you can't change your boss, you can't change the color of your skin, you can't change your age. Nothing you can do about it. But what you can do is change you. That's what you can do. And that's where it starts, with you. I took the break because I needed the break. I needed to think. I was just doing what I thought to do. Online, they said, do this. Online, they said, do this. Online, they said, do this. Make a lot of money. Be a millionaire in a day. Do this. Do this. I was chasing that. There's been a huge uptick in people sharing these side hustles and how to get rich and how to make more money and how to do this. I'm guilty. I did a video, it blew up, and I followed the numbers. I followed the likes. I followed the subscribers, and I pushed those videos out there. But if I'm being honest with you, that's not my brand. That's not on brand for me. I don't want you to have a side hustle. And I would say it, but it doesn't make sense if I'm posting them. So if you haven't noticed, I haven't been posting them. It's only if it's something I truly believe will help you, or if I truly believe you can make it sustainable for you. The last one I shared was the moderator. And that's something that I believe somebody could actually make a career out of because I see the future for that. That's how I think about them. I'm not saying I won't post any of those anymore, But I'm not calling them side hustles. I never liked the word in the first place. I was chasing metrics. And I can say that in full transparency. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not chasing likes. I'm not chasing subscribers. I'm not chasing metrics. I'm standing in my calling. And my hope and my prayer is for you to do the same thing. Don't chase dreams. Open your eyes. Make it a reality. You don't have to dream. It's too much out here. It's too much information, too much knowledge. It's a lot of help. And there are real people that want to support you. We need you. You don't have to chase money. We weren't designed to chase anything. You have too much knowledge, too much experience that you can use to attract whatever and whoever you want. If you're going through bad time, and I don't know why this just dropped in my spirit. If you're going through a tough time, maybe you got a divorce, maybe you lost a job, maybe you're facing a layoff, you're going to be okay. You've been through worse. I know you have, because I have. We all have. I'm rooting for you, and I'm here to support you. That's the end of my TED Talk. I'll see you in the next video.